This is the line. 60 miles from Alexandria. 30 miles of desert between the sea and an impassable depression. If Rommel breaks through here, he takes Egypt. He takes the Suez Canal. And Britain might lose the war. Montgomery's Eighth Army broke through Rommel's defenses and began a pursuit that would end with the total Axis defeat in North Africa. This is Battle of El Alamein. October-November 1942. El Alamein, Egypt. A battle is about to begin that will change the course of the war. On one side, British Eighth Army, commanded by General Montgomery. Against them, German-Italian forces, led by Field Marshal Rommel. Both sides know what is at stake. To understand this battle, we need context. Rommel's Afrika Korps had pushed to within 60 miles of Alexandria. The British made their last stand at El Alamein. If they lost, Egypt, the Suez Canal, and the Middle East oil fields would fall. British Eighth Army had assembled a powerful force. 195,000 troops, 1,029 tanks, 750 aircraft. German-Italian forces was equally prepared. 116,000 troops, 547 tanks, 675 aircraft. The stakes could not be higher. A defeat here would be catastrophic for either side. General Montgomery studied the situation carefully. Every decision now could mean victory or disaster. Field Marshal Rommel was confident. The plan was set. There was no turning back. The men on both sides knew that many of them would not survive what was coming. El Alamein was the perfect defensive position. The Mediterranean to the north and the Qattara Depression to the south made flanking impossible. Montgomery took command in August 1942. He was cautious, methodical, and refused to attack until he was ready. He built up overwhelming superiority in men, tanks, and artillery. He trained his troops for weeks. Nothing was left to chance. Rommel was sick with jaundice and had flown to Germany for treatment. His replacement, Stumm, was less capable. On the night of October 23, over 1,000 British guns opened fire simultaneously. The barrage was the largest since WW1. Infantry advanced through minefields to create corridors for the tanks. It was slow, bloody work under constant fire. German and Italian forces fought back ferociously. The minefields were deep and well defended. Progress was measured in yards. Rommel flew back to Africa when he heard the attack had begun. He found the situation desperate. Montgomery launched Operation Supercharge on November 2. Armored brigades punched through the weakened defenses. Rommel wanted to retreat, but Hitler ordered him to stand and die. The order was insane. Rommel ignored the order and began retreating on November 4. It saved what was left of his army. The Italians were largely abandoned. Without transport, many were captured. Over 30,000 Axis prisoners were taken. Montgomery's pursuit was cautious. He could have destroyed Rommel's army completely, but he advanced slowly. Churchill finally had his victory. He famously said, "Before Alamein we never had a victory. After Alamein we never had a defeat." El Alamein saved Egypt and the Suez Canal. Combined with the torch landings, it doomed the Axis forces in North Africa. Montgomery's Eighth Army broke through Rommel's defenses and began a pursuit that would end with the total Axis defeat in North Africa. The cost was enormous. British Eighth Army lost 13,500 casualties. German-Italian forces suffered even more. 59,000 casualties, including 30,000 prisoners. When the news reached the capitals, the world understood that the war had changed. For the soldiers who survived, this battle would haunt them for the rest of their lives. The commanders on both sides would be judged by history for their decisions here. Military historians would later analyze every move, every decision, every mistake. But for those who were there, no analysis could capture what they went through. El Alamein was the turning point of the North African campaign. Churchill called it the end of the beginning. It was Britain's first major land victory over Germany. The lessons of this battle would influence military strategy for generations to come. Today, memorials stand where the fighting took place. A reminder of what happened here. Books, documentaries, and films have told this story. But nothing compares to the reality. This was Battle of El Alamein. Montgomery's 8th Army broke through Rommel's defenses and began a pursuit that would end with the total Axis defeat in North Africa. And the world was never the same. The events described here shaped the world we live in today. The events described here shape the world we live in today. The events described here shape the world we live in today. The events described here shape the world we live in today. The events described here shape the world we live in today. The events described here shape the world we live in today. The events described here shape the world we live in today. The events described here shape the world we live in today. The events described here shape the world we live in today. The events described here shape the world we live in today.